Hey, good morning, everyone. I am Uday Akkaraju. I'm a human-centered designer and the CEO of a company called Bond.ai. So we call ourselves human-centered design, human-centered AI because we focus more on the user than, of course, AI, but we focus more on how do we calibrate more information from the user and then translate into a very human-centered, empathetic AI. So, this conference, is thanks for inviting me. This conference is very kind of special for me because it's more about entrepreneurship, it's more about data science and fintech, and those three things have actually played a very important role in my journey so far. So I thought I should just share my learnings, my experiences, along with my demo about all these three during this next 15 minutes. So I'll start with what happened and how, I'll share how I got into entrepreneurship, how I started using data, then how we built a platform that is disrupting the financial world today. So a couple of years ago, not long ago, it just feels like yesterday, I was in a tremendous financial stress. So do you know how many people actually are in financial stress today in the US? Any guesses, percentage?
20.
Was that? 20%? You're way off. It's 85%. so it's predicted to get even worse in the next coming few years. So I was one of them. So my finances were in a disarray. I had bad credit scores, a big student loan sitting on top of my head, big mortgage, car loan, you name it, everything was just so bad. So I had to do something to get myself out of it. So I started, like everybody, started using apps like Mint, one thing for savings, one thing for investments, one thing for canceling my subscriptions. I started using like 18 different apps, different platforms. But 6 months down the line, I realized nothing was working, nothing was adding up. So what I realized there was, I think everything needs to be done holistically. Everything needs to add up together. You cannot do one thing for saving, you cannot do one thing for investing, you cannot do things separately. You have to do everything together. And I thought, okay, I should design a program for myself. Then actually I started looking at data. And that's the first time I actually started looking at my own transactions, not only my financial transactions, but also looking at other data of mine. So I actually created a model. I created a small program. And 18 months down the line, it worked. I successfully came out of it. And I also had some money to invest in my company. So that was the kind of inspiration for me to actually create this platform. And what we call this is, using all this data, using all this experience, we created the world's first empathy engine for finance. And we are using that empathy engine to banks. We are powering their mobile apps, we're powering their internet banking, we're powering their voice banking, and even their back office. So we are powering this empathy engine, which is the AI, which is actually the empathy engine powers all the AI so that banks can actually solve these problems for their consumers. Because when I was in a problem, I went to my bank, they didn't have any tools. And the first thing people do is go to their banks, and we are providing all this end-to-end empathetic AI platform for banks. If you see companies like Amazon, Netflix, Google, they're using data to satisfy these consumer expectations, and they're generating billions in revenue. And when it comes to the most important thing in our lives, money, banks are not using. They are sitting on top of the most valuable data set on the planet, and still today not even like 94% of the banks aren't able to provide the same experience as Uber or Amazon is providing in the financial world. So we created a platform. Let me show you a demo. It works with everything, but today I'm going to show you with how it works with voice. So I have an Alexa here. So I'm just going to try doing something with this because the internet is not stable. So let me try to. So if you see, any kind of financial question about yourself. So this is connected to my bank account. So, and I can ask any kind of questions, and let's see what it will do. So I can simply ask simple questions like, what's my balance? And you'll still see a difference what the empathy engine actually does to those kind of questions. Alexa, ask Bond, what's my balance?
You have $13,240.90 in your checking account. I forecast you can save $550 this month. Think you can beat that?
See, it not only gives me a straightforward answer, but it kind of gives me a behavioral insight. Okay, I can save this much. Do you want to do it? If I say I want to do it, it'll actually help me do it. So those insights are very key. And let's take another cliched example and ask Alexa, ask Bond how much I spent at Whole Foods last month.
You spent $80.60 at Whole Foods last month. It is $21.07 less than your monthly average.
Again, that behavioral insight. So this is very important. So those kind of small behavioral insights nudge a consumer towards incremental behavioral change. Education doesn't work. PFMs never work. The only thing works is behavioral change, and that can be done incrementally by these small nudges. So what we do is we take all the anonymized data from a bank, credit and transactions, credit card info, account info, loan and mortgage, everything. So we take all the anonymized data and look for deep behavioral attributes, spending patterns, habit patterns, and 42 more data points, and we create a unique persona for every user of a financial institution. And then, according to that persona, the empathy engine acts accordingly. So these insights are unique to every user. It's different for me, it can be different for you. So it depends on the context, it depends on the persona. And so this is one-to-one personalization done for user at scale for the financial institution automatically and continuously. So let's take an even more complicated example and ask, Alexa, ask Bond if I'm using the right credit cards.
Let me see. Looking at your spending pattern, your current credit cards do not seem to be the right fit. Shall I suggest you suitable cards for your profile?
Sure.
Great. The best combination of credit cards for you would be a Capital One Rewards card for your frequent travels, and your Bond Bank's Platinum card for best cashback on your daily spending. Would you like to replace your credit cards with this new combination?
No.
Okay. When you want to apply, let me know. Hey, by the way, you seem to travel quite a bit. What's your favorite airline?
Delta.
Fantastic. Talk soon.
I mean, you see that, right? See, it doesn't feel like AI, right? So, but it is actually. So the thing is, it not only crunches data in a human-centered way, but it also kind of extracts non-financial data contextually so that it can understand the user holistically. So it is very important that only financial data doesn't matter. It's just 50% or even 45% of the consumer's profile. So the non-financial data is very important. That is what it calibrates. And if I actually say I want a credit card, it can actually connect to the fulfillment system of a bank and then process it. So even visually, I can show you a demo. When, when it is connected to a mobile dashboard, this empathy engine, what it does is actually it gives you, if you connect your mobile dashboards of your bank today, what do you see? Just balance. What is it doing for you? Nothing. So what it does, the empathy engine, as soon as you connect to your bank account, it shows you your whole financial portfolio. Okay, what's there? What's wrong with your portfolio? What needs to be done? If you see here, I mean, all good here. My student loan is fine. I can refinance it in 14 months. Those kinds of insights are very important. And the bubbles in red are very important. So if you click the one in red, it shows you what's wrong with your credit cards, and you can what do you do to fix it. And not only it shows you what to do, but also gives you indications in a social context that what your savings might be. And it also gives you average people in your kind of profile, user group, age group are saving this much. You can actually do much better. It can show you about investing, subscriptions, and even things like it not only helps you optimize your finances, but it also tells you how to maximize your finances. Like here, it actually tells me that I'm all equipped to buy a house. So as soon as the user sees it, what happens? I mean, it's all about the instant gratification behavior, right? They want to do it right there. And a financial institution needs to capture that right then. So what we facilitate through the platform is the user can immediately chat, okay, I want to buy a house or something like that. Or he or she can even ask, Alexa, ask Bond, I wish to buy a house.
Great. Have you finalized the house you want to buy?
Yes.
Well done. I see this is your first house. Is that right?
Yep.
Wonderful. Where is this house located?
Boston.
And what is the value of this house?
$300,000.
Okay, awesome. Do you have a co-applicant for buying this house?
No.
That's fine. Hey, by the way, I see you have $17,511 in your savings account. Do you wish to use this amount for the house goal?
Sure.
Okay, let me analyze. Bravo! You are pre-qualified, and I can help you get 20% down payment in 17 months with the best mortgage offer ever. So ready to start saving for your new house?
Let's do it.
Awesome. In the next 17 months, I will help you save, optimize your expenses, and invest to meet your goal. Let us rock.
That's it. And you name it. I mean, it can do your refinances. It can do anything you want on your financial side. It'll help you do it. So the empathy engine is not only for the consumers, but what we also do is also power the back office of a bank with this intelligent data. So what we do is we identify consumers according to their behaviors. So for example, if you see the green zone, this is a zone with users with the most stable behaviors in context to all of their needs, like student loans, deposits, and stuff like that. And this is a zone with users with less stable behaviors, and the red zone with users with irrational behaviors, like I was before. So the most important thing for the bank is the green zone, right? So for them, this is the holy grail. So they see people, they see empathy clusters here. They can easily, target them for the existing needs which we identify. They can simply say, hey, student loan, they get that, or even deposits. So they can actually identify, we have identified people according to needs. They can just target them, and they'll see a more high conversion rate, because we've been seeing conversions of like 60%, 80%. So because the thing is, we've already identified them and they are stable. But what importantly we do at the back is users in the other two zones are very important, right, for the bank, because those are majority. So what the empathy engine does for the bank at the back is incrementally nudges them towards the green zone so that users are financially stable over a period of time, and the bank is able to make money out of it because users are stable. So we are working with a lot of financial institutions here in Europe and in the US, and we are seeing significant stats because of this, like 200% increase in the lifetime customer value, 12x increase in the loan to deposit ratio, 65% increase in marketing efficiency. So these are huge stats which the banks or financial institutions haven't seen before. So, and for making it so easy for them, we have actually plugged into core banking providers, mobile banking providers, so that for the financial institution, it becomes as easy as plug and play. So I always say, hyper-personalization is the future of the financial industry in the financial world. And Bond.ai is a full-stack platform that will power consumers, their back office, and also help banks monetize the whole phenomenon. So that's about our platform. But I think because this is a conference, I told you it's for entrepreneurship, fintech, and data science, I thought I should share what we learned so far, and maybe that might be useful for people here. So when I tell about fintech, so what we learned so far is the only thing changing faster than technology is consumer expectations, right? So if you have to satisfy those consumer expectations, you have to transform from being a product-centric mindset to a customer-centric mindset for any fintech or a financial institution. Coming to data, today with data, you can do transformational things. You can do a lot of innovative things, but empathy is the greatest source of our innovation. And unless you cannot empathize unless you have both sides of data, intangible and tangible. So as a data scientist, you have to make sure you're considering enough data points to create your model. Otherwise, it's going to be a failure. And as an entrepreneur, finally, when I actually started picking myself out of the hole, I didn't have another plan. I didn't have another option, right? So as an entrepreneur, if you really want to change the world, you cannot have a plan B. You cannot settle for anything less. So you either succeed or fail utterly, and there can be nothing in between. Thanks.